Alright, also from that shop, those of you who saw my first video when I went out to that machine shop saw that I ended up getting a whole bunch of collets and collet closing nuts and stuff, and they actually decided to hold on to a few, and when I went back the second time they sold me what was left. So I just got basically two more closers, 8 ER25 collets, and then these appear to be almost like some sort of a quick change deal. I honestly don't know what these are. They're Lindex, which I know is a quality name, so yeah, not sure what these are. I'll find out easy enough. They had this Greenlee Slugbuster knockout set there. I think it's used. Well, maybe not. This is a big one, an inch and a half. So they had $20. Oh, no, that's actually jaw clamps. I don't know what they had on this originally, but I ended up getting this. And for those of you who don't know what this is for cutting the holes in electrical panels for big conduit to be able to hook up to the panel for electrical conduit. So this is more of an electrician's tool, but if you're in an industrial setting you might have large panels with big conduits coming in and out. And then not one but two of these transfer punch sets. You know, I've had a lot of these pass through my hands over the years, but this is the first time I ever had a set that's full metric. They're all metric sizes, so I'm going to keep one of these and ditch the other. This is the one of the two that's not quite as good because it's missing the 4mm, and a couple of the smaller ones are a little more bent than the smaller ones on that one. But this is just a little pulley they had. I'm about to show you some more freebies that they gave me. This is stuff that was in a pile of stuff that was going to be thrown out soon, and I ended up saying, yeah, I'll take them. So this was there. I actually grabbed it because I took one look at it and I was like, oh, you know what that'd be good for? I have one of those Shelter Logic, vinyl, metal framed, vinyl covered, like shed in a box type things, and it has these really cheesy, cheap plastic pulleys, all plastic. These pulleys are plastic, but the frame's metal. But it uses these cheap pulleys to run the string on the front for rolling up the front panel. So I'm going to replace one of those. So this box is just full of helicoil stuff. Those of you who watch my channel regularly may recall in a previous video, I went to a swap meet and I bought a bunch of machinist tools from a guy, and then he had a cooler, and inside the cooler it was just loaded with helicoil. One guy beat me to a few pieces in there, but then I made a deal to buy the rest. This helicoil stuff's really popular. So then lo and behold, I go to this machine shop, and what do I find? Some more helicoil stuff. So again, these kits are all in different states of completedness. Like for instance, this one's got the tap in it, and it's got some inserts, and it's got the tool, but there's no tap drill missing. But that's easy enough to replace. So I'm not going to go through all these. You know what's in them. They're all going to be pretty much the same thing as what you just saw there. Well, so here you go. Here's an example of a more complete one. We've got the tap drill of the correct size, various length inserts, and the installation tool. There's even another one here. This one had a price of $10 on it, which that was a deal for that, because that's got the tool in it, and I can already see there's quite a few inserts in there too. And then they had this time cert. They had $30 on this. They must have found this online for a lot more money, and for some reason wanted more for this one. This is M10 by 1.5 pitch, but it's the same deal. It's basically just another brand of a helicoil type system. So this looks like it's never been used. We got the tool, taps and the inserts and the instructions. That's a nice little kit. And this bag of just inserts. Yeah, these are both M10. This is a group of stuff that were actually freebies. Well, these 3 items I remember I got for free. They had some stuff over in the corner that was getting ready to be scrapped. And they said anything in that pile I could take. So I grabbed this Linsfield brand sealer. This is a PFS 200. I already tested it. It actually works perfectly fine. So what this is it's a heater, and it's for if you have a lot of small parts that you're selling, and you can buy these bags that come in long rolls. And what this does is you feed it through here, you hold this down, and it seals the bag. So you buy it in whatever width you want, and then you can make whatever length you want, and you could seal it. Hey, so this thing's kind of cool the way it works. I thought that this knob on the front here adjusted the temperature, but because it actually goes to 1 to 8, and then it's 5, from 6, 7 to 8 is in red. The danger zone. But the way this actually works is you plug it in, you set this knob to how many seconds I guess you want it to actually fire, and when you press it down, it goes that many seconds and then automatically shuts off. So I was just experimenting here with this little poly bag I have here, and you can see now that I can't put my finger in past that point because I created this seal right here. So I've got this set at about 3.5. So just demonstrate it again. And voila, and it's pretty darn strong. So that's kind of neat. All right. I'll get to these in a minute. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't really sell enough small little parts and stuff to make that worthwhile. This, I honestly don't remember if I got this from, if I paid for this or if I got it for free, and where I got it from. This could have come from the engraving shop I went to a while back. I think I got one of these, and then I think they had one at this shop, and then I think I bought some at the machine shop that went out of business in a couple towns over from me. So I'm pretty sure I got this from them, but maybe I did pay for it. But it's another one of these combination air regulators with a for condensation or whatever separator, right? So this is a Schrader 3532-1000 filter attached to a regulator. I like this setup. I like the way they did this. For one thing, you've got this nice large knob for adjusting. Don't know what this red purpose of this is. Doesn't lock it. Oh yeah, it does, kind of. Does it? Oh yeah, okay. So you can lock it in place once you've set it, and then so that makes it really easy to adjust. All right. So that's nice. And then over here on the filter, instead of having the typical wrench, the typical kind of nut that you have to use a wrench on, you got this quick release deal here. You just press this button and rotate it, and this pops right off and makes this really easy to open up, dump out the water, and just click it right back on. And you can position that so, like, if it's close to a wall, you can position it so it's out in front or whatever, the button. So kind of neat, kind of like that. So next up are these two load balancers, which I've never seen these before. So these are Realcraft load balancers. They're by Loadcraft Industries. I'm sorry, Realcraft Industries. They're for tool suspension. Attach tool before adjusting tension. So these are rated for between 16 and 23 pounds. And the way these work is these would hang, and then you would attach your tool to this cable, okay? And then you can set the tension for between 16 and 23 pounds of weight. so that you can essentially have a 23-pound tool feel like it's floating in the air, right? That's the general gist of it, or make it feel like it's only a couple pounds. So this would be used, I guess, anywhere where you were having to use a large tool constantly to help support it. You know, I was wondering, so I wonder whether or not you could use this like, could you put it like a small jib or a small crane, you know, on your over your lathe? But this is only 23 pounds max, so it really wouldn't be good for like chucks or like at the milling machine for your vise or something like that. So I'm probably going to end up selling these. I don't think I'm going to, by the time I figure out what I want to do with these and go through the trouble of setting it up, I'm probably going to end up not using them. So I'm not sure whether or not, I think one of these might not be working correctly. Because I was looking at it here and it says to adjust the tension, you turn this knob, and it appears to me like if you pull this one, okay, you hear that clicking and everything? That kind of like has almost like a lock. All right. So there's a certain amount of tension on here, but now there's no tension on this part of the cable because it's locked. But then you get this knob. So if all right, you got to be careful here because if I just turn this knob, it'll release and this will go slamming in. So what I got to do is I got to pull it. So I'm putting a little bit of tension on it, and then rotate this knob, and that will allow this to release and go back in. So the idea is once you've attached it to your tool, you would put a little bit of a load on it so there's no slack in the cable and disengage this, and that would, you know, make it work. But it seems to default to this locking position, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to do. And the reason why I think that there's something wrong with one of these is because this one acts differently. So this one, if I pull it, you notice this one is not locking. It kind of makes the click, but it doesn't lock. But if I rotate this way, now it's completely like unlocked. So I think this was broken. So let's see if I put this all the way over this way. Oh, there we go. No, that's locking now. I just didn't have this rotated enough, I guess. Oh, okay. So the way that this is supposed to work, it looks like, is it's supposed to automatically lock, but if I pull it past that detent and release, it goes back in. Alright, so that's with the knob fully clockwise, it does that. So this one must be the one that's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I'll make sure the knob is fully clockwise, so this should lock, and it doesn't. Okay, but if I put it fully counterclockwise, see, this keeps moving. Oh, there we go. This one seems a little iffy, but hey, I got them for free, so give somebody a deal on those. The first trip out on to this particular shop, I ended up buying some tubing benders that they had there. These were the remaining ones that I ended up buying. The deal was that they hadn't had a lot of people really come in and look around yet, and they were worried that if I bought all of the tubing benders at once too cheaply, then they might, you know, miss out on some extra profit. So what ended up happening was they sold me the 3 swage locks, which were the best ones. So I paid decent money for those, and left these 2. And then when I went back a couple weeks later, everybody who had come in and bought anything else, no one came and even looked at these. So I ended up making an offer and scoring these 2. So this one is an Imperial. This has kind of a cheesy foreign look to it. Oh, I apologize to the people at the company Imperial because Alright, so it's Imperial Chicago, USA. Doesn't say made in USA though. That's the thing too sometimes, you know, sometimes it's one of these deals where it's like, yeah, they're having them made overseas and importing them. It says U.S. and foreign patents pending. Speak much, Steve? All right, but you get the deal on this. By adjusting it this way, you can do several different radiuses, apparently. And then you've got 3 different tubing sizes this can do, which is kind of neat. So I'm going to decide which one I'm going to keep. And then there's this one. This is cast aluminum with a steel bracket here. But the majority of this is cast aluminum, and it's got a adjustable part here, so that's got that going for it. This is steel, and it appears to be powder coated. So I don't know, this seems like this might be better quality. This is Rigid brand. Again, want to think that it's US made, but wouldn't make that assumption unless it actually said made in the USA somewhere on it, and it does not. But this has got this nice powder coating, and I can feel that these are steel handles. This isn't aluminum. This is probably aluminum alloy here. Rigid. So the drawback to this one is really only made for one tubing size, apparently. It's 10 millimeter OD, 42 millimeter radius. This one does have the adjustability to it here, so you can play around with kind of doing some larger radius, I guess. You just work this around as you're going, right? So that's kind of nice. These are a pain in the butt to ship because of the length of the handles. They won't fit flat rate. And then also I got this tool here, was laying there. I ended up getting this, I think, for like $5. This is a Spiral brand. This is a wheel dresser. So this is for dressing a grinding wheel. This is made in Milwaukee, Wisconsin by the Spiral Steel and Tool Company. And like I said, I don't think this has ever been used. Never seen one with this design before. This is a little bit different than what I'm used to seeing. So the idea is that you've got your grinding wheel, you've got your tool rest here. You rest this right on it and work this back and forth and dress the wheel. Some small ones. So yeah, this is all Morse taper sleeves. That is... This is an arbor with a Morse taper on it. So if you've got a older mill that uses this taper, that would be handy for you. This is not very interesting to me. Why would you want to hold a Morse taper in like a Weldon type shank? I don't know. And this is rusty, but this is a Morse taper to Jacob's arbor. So I'll have to see how bad that is after we clean it up. They also had this box that was loaded with these small pullers. I think they're just cheapos. Oh, these are OTC actually. That's actually not a bad brand. And it looks like they're all the same size. I don't know if they're 1021s. That's a 2-jaw, so that's obviously different. Yeah. Air fitting. Wow, yeah, that was kind of surprising. These OTC branded number 1021 pullers, they're actually still available now. These are a 3-jaw, 1-ton puller. And new, these things run $57 each on Amazon. And then I've even seen some prices higher than that, over $60. So these are not cheap pullers. And the last item I picked up on this trip was this box of various cutters, mostly high-speed steel end mills. There are some coated ones in here too. I saw there's a lot of them that look like they are either new old stock or came back from being sharpened because they've got that coating on them. It's nice. Okay, yeah, that's a nice good size one there. 4 flute, high-speed steel coated. It looks like to be about a 1-inch. Yep. I don't see any, well, no, there's a solid carbide one right there. It's a nice 6 flute solid carbide. Alright, so, well, anyways, I guess we'll call this video a wrap right here. So if you're liking these videos, please hit the like button and consider sharing them. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.